Hello and welcome to Folio Weekly Magazine. I'm Rob Nicholson. My guest today is the inimitable Margaret Cho. Good afternoon, good evening, Margaret. It's so good to see you and have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you just left Florida. You were on a Florida leg, and then you'll be back to Jacksonville later in June. It's more of a southeastern leg. Give me your impressions of what's going on down here in Florida.
I think that people in Florida are so brave to stand proud, be queer. I saw a lot of signs out in the streets, whether that was Orlando or Tampa, a lot of rainbows out. When I was in Orlando, actually, there was real rainbows in the sky. So it's a very gay state. It's a very gay place. The fact that they're trying to outlaw drag is inconceivable to me. But I think that the pride of LGBTQIA plus people of Florida will prevail.
I hope so too. Speaking of Pride, for Jacksonville, we celebrate it in October, but we also like to celebrate it along with our brothers and sisters around the country in June. You're going to be the Grand Marshal at the LA Pride. That's exciting.
Yes, and I'll be sharing those duties with my dead friend Leslie Jordan. I don't know how he's going to do it beyond the grave, but they're honoring him for Pride, which is really great. And he would have loved it. And I've been collaborating with him for years, and we were working on a film up until his untimely death. And so now John Cameron Mitchell will be stepping into the role. That the film is called Ron, and it's based on a song that I wrote called Ron's Got a DUI, and now it's a film called Ron. And so we're working on that throughout the year. But it'd be great to think about him for the Pride celebration in LA. That to me is really amazing.
Everybody loves Leslie Jordan, so that'll be fun. I hope we can at least see it online or something like that.
Yes, I'm sure there will definitely be lots and lots of footage from it. There'll be lots and lots of videos from it, and we'll put it all over social media for sure.
Speaking of live, your tour is called Live and Livid. Talk to us about the tour.
My tour is called Live and Livid. It's really a tour that is about protecting drag queens, protecting trans kids, protecting trans rights, protecting gay rights, protecting these rights that we have to hang on to with all of our might. So the show is all about that. The show is all about getting some sense of sanity back into our lives after the pandemic, and really using anger as a force for good and for change.
So speaking of the pandemic, what did you do to get through that period of time? I mean, there's no audience.
I think, for me, it was an opportunity to spend some time at home, which I had not actually stopped down for 35 years. So for me, it was actually really amazing to really enjoy my home life. I never even thought I could do that. And so that was different. But I'm looking forward to going back out on the road. Like, I really have missed it. So this tour has been great.
You've been such a part of the fabric of comedy in this country, but I was kind of blown away. You've been at this for 40 years. You're celebrating 40 years in this business.
That's right. I've
And
been doing comedy for that long. It's
and
crazy.
and your schedule. I was noticing your schedule. Your schedule is unbelievable. Where do you find the time?
Well, I think it's really energizing. Like, stand-up comedy is a really energizing art form. And so I get a lot of energy from audiences, and I really love what I do. And so to me, it's just like so much fun and like that. And I also love doing movies and television shows. For me, that's so really, really exciting as well.
You're a multimedia artist, is what
Yeah.
it is. And speaking of movies, you've got a film out on Disney Plus called Prom Pact. Can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit about it?
Prom Pact is a really great, beautiful coming of age film. And it reminds me of a lot of the old John Hughes films, actually, from like Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles and all of those, like Breakfast Club, all those really great teen um, coming of age comedies from the 80s that were just so amazing. But they had their problems too, with race, with a lot of the language, and it's a very different time that we're in, but now we have a way to revisit that energy and that spirit with Prom Pact, and so I really loved it.
And Prom Pact is out on Disney Plus. I just went to see the Psychedelic Furs last week, and I've been kind of in this gear, so I'm going to go and watch that movie. Now, the point of us getting together today is you're coming in concert. We're going to have you here on the 25th of June, the live and livid tour. Is anybody traveling with you, or is it an evening with Margaret Cho?
It will be with me, and then I have a wonderful opening comedian named Daniel Webb. He's so funny, so it's a great, great night of comedy.
It will be a great night of comedy. And Margaret, people here, you have to go to the Florida Theater to get your tickets. They don't sell their tickets on other systems. So I actually am very proud of them for sticking it out that way and selling their own tickets and not gouging everybody. But again, Margaret Cho, a pleasure to meet you. We can't wait to have you into town. And thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
And for Folio Weekly Magazine, I'm Rob Nicholson.